remember that they're changing my voice. So in a recent speech by Bibi Netanyahu, he talked about his conflict with Iran and his demands for Iran and Hamas, what have you. But he also said that they're fighting a war on many fronts, including combating anti-Semitism and the vilification of the Jewish people. Now, everyone who's been paying attention knows that anti-Semitism, is, according to them, isn't just, saying that you hate them or you want to kill them or something like this. They also include denying that the Holocaust occurred. And there's a thin line between that and denying their narratives in regards to Judaism and Christianity. If you've been paying close attention, you see that there's an alliance between the Christian right and other Christians from other walks of life, we'll say, and the political Zionists. And there's a bunch of controlled opposition groups making sure that things go a certain way by controlling the opposition. This is something that everyone with sense has noticed. And so my video is at some risk of being labeled anti-Semitic, even though I've made probably over 100 videos easily, making it clear that I'm not racist, especially against Jews, right? I put an emphasis on that because of the subject matter of my videos, me proving that I'm Christ with my Proof I'm Christ playlist, which I'm going to add, I'm going to add this video to that playlist, right? And so I wanted you all to see that on the screen. It's a recent speech by the Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, and he is saying that they have to fight a war against the vilification of the Jewish people. Now, pay close attention here. I have Jews in my family. I'm not racist. The Igbos, my father's tribe, are considered the Jews of Africa. There's Igbos who identify as Jewish. There's African Americans of Igbo descent who identify as Hebrew Israelites. I'm not racist. But when you look at what I'm saying in my videos, I'm saying I'm Christ. And I'm somebody who's part Nigerian, part white, and slightly Jewish, white Jewish on my mom's side for various reasons that have to do with Freemasonry. They have to do with who married who and who, was a Christian and who wasn't, and how it played out and so on and so forth in European history. And my mom looks very much like she could be related to Bibi Netanyahu, in fact. She looks like a sort of like a gnome, what have you, a shorter person, what have you. And I'm not saying that to insult people that look like that. My mom looks like that. My great-grandfather, who my mom was very close to, looks very much like some kind of a Jewish person or something. Now, you have to understand that it is fair for me to say that I believe that they're wrong about God and that I'm right. To understand whether it's fair or not, you need to stop looking at it in terms of Jewish fanaticism, Christian fanaticism. You have to look at it in terms of Luke 12:57, for example. Why don't you judge for yourselves what is right? Matthew 7, first remove the log from your own eye. And that log is your denomination. That log is your ethnocentrism, your tribalism, your religious fanaticism. There's a difference between being loyal to morality and insisting on it if it kills you. That's not being a fanatic. That's being smart. And assuming that people who wrote a book are right and that your interpretation of that book is right. God did not tell you that the Torah or the Bible or the Quran would be written and that you must believe it. God never told you that. So you're taking the word of people who refuse to stand for what's right, people who are in controlled opposition groups, people who are mere political people, what have you. The masses and masses of people who follow the Torah, the Quran, and the Bible are not good people. And you're taking their word for it, and you're taking the word of authors whose books made it through the ages, as they say, in a very evil world. And in the Bible, it says that Satan leads the world astray. So why did Satan allow the Bible to still be around and to be so popular? What else is popular? Rock and roll, rap music, the hypocrisy that comes with the classical music culture. What else is popular? Porn, sexual immorality. In Rome, it was popular to have the Colosseum, to trade slaves, to have orgies. To make a long story short, because I'm being interrupted here, how many of you think it's fair, to the point where you could stand before God Almighty and say it's fair, to cheat the most righteous person with a universal scale who ever lived for your specific interpretation of the Bible within your respective compartment. On a planet where there's over 50,000 denominations of Christians. Again, 50,000 denominations. And they say 2 Jews, 3 opinions, and Muslims kill each other all throughout Islamic history. How many of you think it's fair for you all to cheat me for your specific interpretation, for your specific denomination? Now let's look at how much people have changed and the changes they've accepted. Look at their hypocrisy. They're quick to accept a corporate interpretation in order to survive. They're quick to change their stance and their style in order to survive. They're quick to be racist. They're quick to cancel cultures in order to survive. When you consider everything that the people are doing, the people of those 50,000 denominations are doing, how could you for even a moment think that they magically know better than the top martial artist ever possible? What does Hebrews 11, verse 34 tell you? Quenched the fury of the flame and escaped the edge of the sword, whose weakness was turned to strength, and who became powerful in battle and routed foreign armies. Through faith, they became powerful in battle. Now, what's more powerful? A bunch of mediocre people who triumph over a bunch of pagans who don't have much heart and turn the tide of a battle? Or the top martial arts ever possible gathering the Spirit of God? Focus, moral intensity, universal pinpoint and moral precision, the Spirit of God, wisdom, righteousness, justice, and triumphing in the greatest martial artist challenge ever possible, greater than David versus Goliath, greater than that challenge. And it's ever possible because after my flesh dies, no one will ever be able to one-up it. Even right now, no one will ever be able to one-up due to tech, cheating, unfair breeding, and generational ill-gotten gains. And you all know damn well that I'm right.